seemed at the end of this game, a certain number 22 looked like another 22 with the poise he had at the end of the game to help play as a closer. Your thoughts on that moment by Andrew?
Yeah, it was really important. They were draped all over Tyler, and we actually were able to get some pretty good mileage on the two-man action between Tyler and Bam. But then they were loading up, so we were just uh, throwing the ball to Wiggs and letting him make some plays, and he had two really good post ups. Going down the stretch. Uh, it shows you his skill level, and that's something that we need. Another guy that can just throw the ball to, and he can go make something happen. That drive he had down the stretch going to his left, great finish. And then the two-way basketball on the other side, really had some key defensive stops against, some clever offensive players. Barrett and Quickly both know how to score, but also draw fouls, and he was able to get, some good, stops without fouling, making the shots tough. Um, we're all just really happy for him, and we're excited. Now we're able to see a little bit of what this can look like. Defensively, I thought we were, pretty good um, all the way through. And then offensively, even though we didn't put up a lot of points in that fourth quarter, there was more intention, and we'll get better with that. Now that there's more clarity, there's role clarity, there's role definition. Guys will get more comfortable and confident.
Even with all that attention, Tyler is showing that even against that, at moments of truth, like in the fourth with the three and other plays, and even in the overtime, the way he can step forward against anything and that kind of attention.
Yeah, I mean Barnes is a dynamic, huge defender, and Tyler's skill level now is such that he can do it in a lot of different ways. He can not just do it in pick and rolls; he can do it on the move, which he had to do a lot of that tonight. And then you get down the stretch in close games. He loves those moments. To have the ball in his hands with the responsibility to make a play, a positive play for your team. And he did a lot of those. Down the stretch. A lot of it, was passing. And even the one at the end of regulation, he went just a count too early. But I understand what he was doing. I mean, that was the only window he could have gotten with Barnes. Otherwise, he would have been jammed up, with kind of a home run play at the end. But I thought that was a great play to get in the paint, kick out, and I thought we got, two good looks at it. Bam got one in his wheelhouse, and Wiggs almost had the tip in.
And speaking of that play, a lot of times after a player misses a shot at the end of the regulation, he might hang his head. But Bam instead got the first two baskets of overtime and really set the tone for overtime. Guarded Barnes for a while in a very small lineup again. Your thoughts on Bam's overall performance?
Yeah, he's just a great competitor, so he's not going to get deterred, by missing a shot or, not having something go his way. He's going to find a way to impact the game. And that's exactly right. Down the stretch, it was two-man action, and in the start of the overtime, Tyler was playmaking and giving it to Bam. Those were not like the easiest shots either. Taking it on the catch, they're rotating the third guy, and he was able to put a couple buckets in. And then, yeah, when they go super small, you have somebody, like Bam that now can guard all the way across the board. That's a luxury that we certainly do not take for granted.
You've also spoken how this is the anything necessary time of season. You went with a very tight eight-man rotation early. Burks a little bit in the first half. Anderson stabilizing in the second half. We didn't see Jaime. What was your thought on the tight rotation and the way you went through the rotation?
Yeah, and it could differ, game to game, but I want to create a little bit of clarity as much as we can right now, and everybody just has to stay ready. Look, we have to make some things happen. And it'll be all hands on deck. We feel very comfortable with our depth, and we saw that depth. Burks gave us some important minutes in the first half, and then Kyle, his minutes. Those are not easy. You don't play all the way through, but that shows you how mentally tough and smart he is. That he can come into a game like that and immediately make an impact, and what he brings to the table is something that I think our team can use. We'll just have to figure it out. You know, if we can get to it consistently or not.
coaching in overtime, Tyler got a hit somewhere, got his elbow tweaked. It was really bugging him, but literally spins around, gets back, and ends up getting what is a critical block.
Yeah.
Down on the other end. That's
Yeah.
going to be an awesome bit of Tylerness to have.
Yeah, and the head coach likes that, to basically seal the game with a defensive play. He made enough offensive plays, but he's improved on that end of the floor too, and that's what he wants. He wants to be viewed as a two-way basketball player, somebody that can impact the game in a lot of different ways, not just scoring, but can do it with playmaking, can do it with defense, can do it with rebounding. That's what real basketball players are. All right, thank you. Oh,
Can I have one last one? All right. We all know about the famous heat culture and philosophy behind it, and obviously this franchise has many successful partnerships with star players, but also some that ended less smoothly. Now, if you could summarize, what qualities does a player need to fit into this team and maximize his contribution?
we'll try to be as respectful as possible. I think we've talked about our culture enough. I think there's been enough written about and said about our culture. There's nothing really more to add. We know who we are, and we're just focused on getting this group to a higher level. All right, appreciate you.